Namo Phat, good morning. Thank you for joining me for our daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls us back to our true home. The second mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by exploitation, social injustice, stealing, and oppression, I vow to cultivate loving kindness and learn ways to work for the well-being of people, animals, plants, and minerals. I will practice generosity by sharing my time, energy, and material resources with those who are in real need. I'm determined not to steal and not to possess anything that should belong to others. I will respect the property of others, but I will prevent others from profiting from human suffering or the suffering of other species on earth. Dharma reading today is Being with Resistance by Ajahn Jyoti from Beginning Our Day by the monastics of Abhayagiri Monastery. In one of the Dhamma talks Ajahn Chandako gave recently, he said the best way that we as monastics can support people in the world, support ourselves, and support the people who support us is to develop the monastery and develop our individual practices. We can do this by investigating our tendencies and mind states to see whether we are moving toward contentment and communal harmony, or if we are moving toward a tendency to control, trying to push people around with our words or attitudes, or trying to manipulate conditions to meet our preferences. It's important to stop and ask ourselves, what's the tendency there? What's the mental habit? As we all know, during these 15-minute morning work meetings, the work monk assigns a job to each of us. When I was a junior monk, I would feel a tense sense of resistance during the entire meeting because there were certain things I didn't like being asked to do. Years later, when I became the work monk, these tendencies weren't there at all because I had control. But even later, when it was again someone else who had the work monk job, my tendency toward resistance came back. This is only an example, a reminder that our tendencies to feel resistance or any unwholesome tendencies simply arise out of causes and conditions. It's important not to see them as wrong, but simply as tendencies of the mind. With that understanding, we can investigate what is happening for us in the moment when resistance arises, and don't give ourselves space around the feeling that is present. We don't need to push these experiences away by bossing people around, trying to change things, or becoming reclusive. Rather, we can look at the feeling of resistance and learn how to be with it. We can observe how the feeling changes, or investigate the fear that underlies resistance, breaking it all down. When we do this, it's possible to see that there's nothing worth fighting against. There's really nothing to be gained by being caught up in a mind state of resistance. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for joining me this morning.